Hello guys, welcome back to the second part of my monstrous DVD collection overview. There's probably going to be about 6 parts to this, if not more, because I have a few DVDs. Just a few. So, yeah. Alright, so last time we covered the action. We covered some of my favorite action heroes from the 90s and 2000s and 80s. And blaxploitation, we've got disaster movies, comic book movies, video game movies, and then martial arts, all but Chinese. So now we're getting into the Chinese martial arts, which I have about 3.5 shelves of. And each shelf fits about 80 movies, so do the math on that. So I love Chinese martial arts movies. They're some of the greatest action movies of all time, in my opinion. Sorry, I'm getting comfortable. They're easy to come by. I find them at the flea market all the time, and usually for really cheap, and I tend to pick them up even if it's a shitty release, because a lot of these movies you're not going to find anywhere, ever. These are some of the most obscure Chinese Hong Kong movies, martial arts, that you'll ever see, so I pick them up whenever I see them. So a lot of these double packs I haven't even touched, to be honest. And there's just a lot of stuff here, guys. So I'm going to slowly go through it so you can see. If you have any recommendations as to some that I should watch first and foremost, please let me know, because I just get overwhelmed. Ooh, here's one I have seen. The 18 Bronzemen. This is, obviously you're going to see a lot of Shaw Brothers here, guys. Shaw Brothers, Run Shaw. If you don't know who they are, they produced hundreds of movies from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, maybe even in the thousands. I mean, it's ridiculous. But 18 Bronzemen, badass action movie, martial arts. There's a sequel there, which I've not seen. Now, a lot of these are pretty shoddy releases, but some are good. These martial arts theater releases are solid by Taiseng. Now, the only problem is they are English language, so you're going to get the cheesy dubs. But that's part of the fun, I think. I would prefer to have the option, don't get me wrong, but, you know, it's half the fun with the cheesy dubs. Doesn't take away from the action, in my opinion. Again, I haven't seen... Ooh, Bastard Swordsman. That's a great one that I have seen. This is a hard one to find. You know, if you want to get good transfers of these movies, make sure it's either released by Celestial or Taiseng. Celestial Pictures does a lot of Shaw Brothers stuff. Bastard Swordsman, badass movie. Black Mask 2. What a wacky, underrated, crazy, over-the-top action movie. So comic book-like. In fact, I think this captures the comic book feel better than a lot of movies do, a lot of so-called comic book movies. The action in this is phenomenal, and there's a good reason why. If it focuses, Chewie Hark directed this one. It's not going to win any awards for acting. In fact, the acting is abysmal at points, so much so that it's fun. But I'm telling you, the action is kinetic. You know, frenetic. Chewie Hark's style is just dynamic. It's always moving, always evolving. Wire work, sparks, fisticuffs, explosions, wacky CG. God damn, this movie's fun. I like this better than the first one, to be honest. This movie just doesn't take itself seriously at all. Great stuff. Bunch of people in this, too. Rob Van Dam, Scott Adkins. There's some other cameos in here. Joe Polito, Tobin Bell. Yeah, just... Crazy, crazy movie, man. Check it out. I love Black Mask 2, City of Masks. What a fun movie. Let's see. So, you know, you gotta love some of these titles. The Blazing Temple, Blind Fist of Bruce. I've got a lot of the Bruce Lee films. Not Lee. Lee. There's a difference. Bruce Lee. If you're not aware, Bruceploitation is a genre in martial arts where after Bruce died... People were clamoring for more Bruce films, you know, more films like it, because no one was like Bruce Lee. And so there were a bunch of imitators. You got Bruce Lee, Bruce Lo. I'm sure there's a Bruce Lo. I didn't make up Bruce Lee and Lee, though. Why am I doing this? Stop. Blood of the Dragon. You know, Jimmy Wong Yu, who's another legend of martial arts. This is an interesting one I'm looking forward to checking out. Look at that. Lo Lie, who was in some of the greatest Shaw Brothers films, and Lee Van Cleef, who was in some of the greatest westerns of all time, of course, Good, Bad, and the Ugly. And yeah, but this is like a western Shaw Brothers film, so Sounds cool to me. He's got some Bolo Yeung. I do like Bolo Yeung films. Unfortunately, his films the transfers are usually ass juice. These are more good transfers. This is Bloody Hero. Xenon put these out. Yeah, Xenon as well. Born Invincible. Carter Wong, another legend. Well, arguably, I guess. But yeah, Born Invincible, that's a good one. Breathing Fire, another Bolo Yeung film. Here's some Ronnie Yu goodness. Bride with the White Hair. Ronnie Yu did, when he came to America, he did Freddy vs. Jason. He did Bride of Chucky. But before that, he was making some really, really fast-paced and wacky Hong Kong fantasy action movies like this. And the sequel. Yeah, here's, what in the... What? Bruce Lee Fights Back from the Grave. This is supposed to be phenomenally bad. Not starring Bruce Lee, obviously. Yeah, people were clamoring for Bruce Lee so much that there was a movie called Bruce Lee Fights Back from the Grave made. It's supposed to be so off the wall, it's not even funny. So I'm saving that for a special time. Let's see. Come Drink With Me. This is a great early Shaw Brothers film, released by Dragon Dynasty, Celestial. Come Drink With Me. This actually features a very young Jackie Chan when he was part of the Seven Little Fortunes. As well as Sammo Hung, I believe, makes an appearance. Young. I mean, I'm talking like 10, 12 years old, Corey Yin, and Yin Bio. The star of this is Shang Pei Pei, who I believe was in... She's been in some recent stuff, or the last 15, 20 years. But yeah, Shang Pei Pei is great female action martial artist from the 60s, 70s, and the 80s. This one's released by, or directed by King Hu did Dragon Inn, and, oh man, I'm blanking on some of the stuff he's done. But King Hu was one of the progenitors of the martial arts epic action film. Without him, we don't have Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. In fact, that movie was really an ode to King Hu. But yeah, Come Drink With Me, Dragon Inn. Damn, what's the other one? Touch of Zen. That's the other one he's done, which I haven't seen. Dance of Death. This one's not very good, but Jackie Chan does do the action directing. It says directed by Jackie Chan, which isn't true. He did the action direction. Dance the Drunk Mantis. This is the sequel to Drunken Master. Jackie Chan's Drunken Master from 78. Directed by Yin Wo Ping. So this one, not as good as Drunken Master, but still really, really fun and wacky and over the top. Really like Dance the Drunk Master. Fun movie. Like I was saying, I've got a bunch of these martial arts theaters. Got these all in the same place, really, one time for like $1 a pop. And Deadly Snail versus Kung Fu Killer. Haven't seen that one. Death Duel of Kung Fu. More Taiseng martial arts theater releases. Dragon Dynasty collection. Yeah, anytime you see Dragon Dynasty, you're getting a good transfer with most likely the Chinese and English tracks. Executioners from Shaolin. Early Jet Li, martial arts of Shaolin. Mad Monkey Kung Fu, and 5 Shaolin Masters. I love the titles of some of these movies. They're just so ridiculous. Dragon Against Vampire, starring Elton Chong. Coming down here, we got the remake of Dragon Inn, King Hu's Dragon Inn. Haven't seen this one. Let's see, Drunken Monkey, The Duel, Duel to the Death, badass Japanese and Chinese martial arts film, directed by Xiu Tung Xing, who I mentioned earlier, who directed the American movie Belly of the Beast with Steven Seagal. This has some great ninja scenes, some great sword fighting and martial arts, just really, really cool film. Xiu Tung Xing, anytime you see him, he was a great action director. Duel at the Supreme Gate. These are good releases too, guys. Rare Scope. Let's see. BCI. Put out some obscure stuff. The 18 Jade Archers. The Flying Guillotine. These are fun movies. Guillotine. Sorry. Those are fun movies. Fist of Golden Monkey. This is Elton Chong as well. You gotta love that, man. Elton Chong. So stupid. Badass Shaw Brothers movie. Flag of Iron, where they fight with flags. It's badass. This one's directed by Shang She, who is one of, if not the greatest, Shaw Brothers director ever to ever do it. He did a few films I'll talk about. He did, Deadly Venoms, 5 Deadly Venoms, Flash Future Kung Fu. This one I found out about recently. Well, I had it in the collection, but I found out it was directed by Kirk Wong, who did The Big Hit, which I talked about in the first part of this. And, yeah, this is supposed to be insanely over the top and fun and sci-fi and martial arts, so yay. More flying guillotine. They're probably the same movie. The Fatal Flying Guillotine. Grandmaster of Death. Green Snake, one of my favorite movies of all time. Chewie Hark, one of his best, if not his best. Green Snake, martial arts, fantasy, beautiful. One of the most beautiful films ever filmed. The special effects are ethereal. The cinematography is ethereal, just otherworldly. The atmosphere he captures in this is second to none. Check it out. Green Snake. This DVD is really expensive. Sorry, I don't mean to rub it in your face. Like, check this movie out. The DVD's impossible to get. House of Traps, another fun Shaw Brothers movie starring the Venoms. Badass. Let's see. In the Line of Duty 4. That has Donnie Yen in it. Michelle Kwong. Cynthia Khan. Okay, I got mixed up. Cynthia Khan and Michael Wong. Directed by Yin Wo Ping. Yes, Ma'am. Michelle Yeoh's Yes Ma'am, I believe, was the first In the Line of Duty. And then, they, in typical Hong Kong fashion, they went all over the place and just slapped that title onto a bunch of movies later on. Sort of like what they do with Police Story, Super Cop and First Strike. Yeah, they're Police Story movies, but First Strike is kind of far away from what Police Story was in the beginning. Still love it to death. Watched that a couple nights ago for the 80 millionth time. This one, King Boxer. This may have been the one that started it all. This is like 67. This is a really early one. Really, really early film. Starring Lolier again. And Shaw Brothers. So, haven't seen it. It's also known as Five Fingers of Death. That's right. That's probably a more popular title. Haven't seen this one yet, but I really, really want to. Last Hurrah for Chivalry. Haven't seen this, but it is a film directed by John Woo. Yes, he got his start doing wuxia, and wuxia and martial arts epics like this, period pieces. So, that's really cool to see. Last Hurrah for Chivalry. The Lost Swordship, more rare scope stuff. Master of the Flying Guillotine. This one is great. This is one Wu-Tang has talked about quite a bit. Jimmy Wong Yu. It has an insane, obviously, flying guillotine that attaches itself onto people's necks and then rips their head off their shoulders in beautiful, gory fashion. My Young Auntie. This is another female-driven martial arts film, Shaw Brothers. This one's directed by Lau Kar-leung, who's done some of the greatest martial arts films of all time, including Legend of the Drunken Master, and I believe Enter the 36 Chambers with Gordon Liu. I'll talk about another one of Lau Kar-leung's films soon. But yeah, this is haven't seen this one, but it's supposed to be really good. I think Gordon Liu is in this one. Pretty sure. And I said Enter the 36 Chambers after the Wu-Tang album, but it's called The 36th Chamber of Shaolin, which is one of my favorite martial arts films of all time. One of my favorite action films of all time. Mystery of Chess Boxing, another one Wu-Tang talks about all the time. Wonder where I got my love for martial arts movies. Growing up listening to Wu. One-Armed Swordsman, more 60s Jimmy Wong Yu Shaw Brothers films. I've only seen the first one. It's about a one-armed swordsman. Red Wolf, this is a Yin Wo Ping film. Here it usually gets compared to Die Hard. Die Hard on like a boat. But I haven't seen it yet. Return of the Five Deadly Venoms. It's another Shang-Chi film starring the Venoms, of course. This one's also known as Crippled Avengers. So, haven't seen this one, but the first film, Five Deadly Venoms, which I have on Blu-ray, is excellent. And that rounds out... Nope, just kidding. Got a little bit more. We got the Shaolin Brothers. We've got Shaolin Drunkers, Shaolin vs. Lama, Shaolin vs. Ninja. Stephen Chow. I don't have nearly as many Stephen Chow films as I'd like, and I've not seen as many as I'd like. Haven't even seen this one. I can't get it back. But that's Stephen Chow. Shaolin Soccer. He's known for Kung Fu Hustle, which I have seen, which is excellent. Soul of the Sword, another good one. Sword Stained with Royal Blood. I believe this is another Venom's film. Yep, starring the Venoms. Yeah, no other ones that I could talk about. Because I haven't... Oops, sorry about that. Zoo Warriors. This is a Chewy Hark film, though. And I've not seen it. And that is not all for the martial arts. That is mostly it. But what I've done here for this the rest of this shelf is similar to what I did... Sorry, fixing my lighting nonchalantly here. Similar to what I did with the American action movies up there that you could see in the first part of this video. Kind of broke it down between some of my favorite stars, Chinese action stars. So, and again, they are in alphabetical order depending on the actor's last name. Forgive me, the lighting is going to get pretty dark down here, but it is what it is. First guy up, and in fact the first three, it just so happens that they're all together, the three brothers, Yin Bio, Jackie Chan, Sammo Hung. The three of them grew up in the Seven Little Fortunes, the Chinese opera theater, along with Corey Yin, who is a great action director and director himself. And Yin Bio was known as Little Brother, Jackie Chan was known as Big Nose, and Sammo Hung was known as Big Brother. Sammo Hung was the oldest. Yin Bio came in after Jackie Chan. I know all this because I read Jackie Chan's biography, which is phenomenal. Anyway, we've got Dreadnought here. We've got Iceman Cometh, Kid from Tibet, Peacock King, which is just insane. Did a review of this, so check that out. Love this movie. And also its sequel, Saga of the Phoenix, which isn't quite as good, but still damn fun. And it is pouring outside, so hopefully that the mic isn't picking that up. And then we get into Jackie Chan. This is a really shitty Jackie Chan set with films. I mean, it's got a shot of First Strike there and like Legend of Drunken Master. I don't know. But some of these films he doesn't even star in. It's just one of those really shitty cash grab kind of things. Accidental Spy, a good Jackie Chan movie. Later, early 2000s, I want to say. Dragon Fist. A lot of early Jackie Chan I haven't seen, but I've seen like pretty much everything after around 83. Dragon Lord, Fearless Hyena, Gorgeous, Half a Loaf of Kung Fu, Hand of Death, Heart of Dragon, The Medallion, Miracles, Mr. Nice Guy, really like this one, Sammo Hung directed. My Lucky Stars, this stars the three brothers, Jackie Chan, Sammo Hung, Yin Bio. One of my least favorite, if not my least favorite Jackie Chan film, unfortunately. And it sucks because this is directed by Stanley Tong, who not only did Rumble in the Bronx, but he also did Super Cop. So I don't know how this one messed up, but Kung Fu Yoga does this movie better. Kung Fu Yoga was more of a realization of what this was going for. And I like Kung Fu Yoga. I don't care what anybody says. I think it's a fun Jackie film. Police Story Lockdown, Robin B. Hood. Not the best, but not bad either. Shaolin Wooden Men. Thunderbolt. And then we get into, let's see, Tuxedo, one of his lesser films. Try to make him a superhero, but the thing is, Jackie Chan is already a superhero, a real-life one, so didn't need to do all that. Jackie Chan directed Jackie Chan's Who Am I? Phenomenal, with a great fight sequence on top of this building here. And basically he gets amnesia and fights his way back and trying to figure out who he is. It's some sort of secret agent. Great movie. Then we get into Sammo Hung. Haven't seen as many Sammo Hung films as I'd like, but I have seen this, and it's phenomenal. Phenomenal! Directed by Sammo Hung. Love this movie. Sort of a Chinese Dirty Dozen in a lot of ways. And we've got Filthy Guy. You know, like I said, you gotta love those titles. Two Toothless Tigers. That's right. Sounds like a Dr. Seuss book.